Okay, I'm gonna heat up some food while I'm staying at this Cracker Barrel by using my Hot Logic, and this should be something good for the night. I have these tacos, and I'm just gonna put them into my Hot Logic pan and hope that this gets me through the crazy night. Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. My goal was to make it a little bit outside of the Kansas City area to a safe place so that I wouldn't get slammed by storms. And well, joke's on me. I worked for a longer amount of time than I probably should have, and because of that, now south it is not safe. There is a physical rotation started south of the city a little bit. So I'm in the Belton area, and it's a little nerve-wracking to say the least. The winds have already started to pick up. The lightning is getting more intense, and it just started to sprinkle. They're saying we're under a tornado watch until 10 o'clock. It's only 7. I watched the progression map, and realistically there is a band of storms that is coming through from Kansas that is currently producing some circulation. And even though the watch says 10 o'clock, the time progression said that it could go until like 1:30. So I'm nervous. I'm super nervous. I tried to figure out where the best place for me to park was, and I called in advance to ask the Cracker Barrel for sure if I could stay here. And the lady was like, absolutely, we have RV parking, park wherever you need to that you feel the safest. And she said it's going to get pretty bad tonight, so please be careful. And that just made me, because I was already noticing that the weather was looking poor, but her saying that means that they have been alerted that it's also going to be bad. And so I'm just very, very nervous now. I've been in some storms before. When I was driving back to Texas once, I drove pretty much almost into a tornado because it was nighttime, and nighttime storms are the worst because you can't see them. So I have all my notifications on my phone for alerts and warnings. And I'm parking someplace that I probably wouldn't normally park. Normally parking is all around the outer edge, but right now I'm parked behind the building because the building is actually acting as a windshield for me. I may move, I'm not sure. I'm still debating on that, but I thought in the meantime, I'm gonna go eat or grab something in the morning from Cracker Barrel. So I had these tacos I needed to eat tonight. So I'm putting them together, and then I'm gonna start up the Hot Logic. I know it's gonna take a little bit longer than like the Road Pro would, but they just need to be warmed. I should be fine. This gives me time to kind of settle in and be able to watch some more news, because it's gonna take about an hour probably for these to heat up. So I'm okay with that. In the meantime, I'm just kind of watching out my windows. I'm not covering my windows yet because I'm trying to figure out how I need to move. So I'm just looking, and there are no other RVs. There are no other vans here, and that's another reason why I called, was just to make sure, because you know, when you don't see other people, it's just like, okay, I'm here during the week, so that could be it. I'm just a little nervous. What I saw on the weather did not look good, but there's no way to get away from what didn't look good. The band has now stretched all the way from the top of Kansas all the way to the bottom of Oklahoma, and it's going to keep moving. So it's going to move all the way across Missouri. Originally, they said that it was only going to kind of move part way across, so I could just like dip down and make it all the way to like Branson or something. But now they're saying it's also going to go through Branson. So, whew. Okay, obviously my windows are really dirty, but in this direction now, I'm starting to hear thunder. Pretty intense thunder, and then the lightning is starting to pick up like it just did. They did say that south of me, which is in this direction, was experiencing some moving winds that were slightly concerning. I'm waiting for an update at 8 o'clock for the chances and possibilities. I just want to get in the back, but at the same time, there's no windows, so I can't see anything. And in these situations, it's almost better to be able to see things. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have seen that though. It says that the line of storms is going to go through aggressively with 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. I'm parking in a place I, again, wouldn't normally park here. I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is the bad side of being in a vehicle. So before, the building was completely catching the wind. Now it's not. The wind shifted. And there's something to being able to see out the windows and see what's kind of happening. At the same time, it's kind of terrifying because before it was just lightning in like the northernmost direction. Now it's also in the southernmost direction, and I'm still waiting on the update at 8, but they said that the wind speeds have now intensified from 60 to 70 miles per hour. Right now I'm experiencing 32 mile per hour gusts, and now that things have kind of shifted, I actually feel them thrust forward in the van. So I'm still debating on if I want to move or redirection. I just don't know. I just don't know. This is the bad thing about being in a vehicle sometimes. Okay, I went inside. I talked to them a little bit. They did mention that parking behind the building, even though it blocks a lot of the wind, might not be the best thing because that center section right there, they typically don't want people parking there because the cops will come in and like knock on your door, and I don't want that. So I'm like trying to figure out where I want to park, if I want to park out here. The only hesitation I have is this pole with this storm. That might not be good. If lightning were to strike it, it would just rain down on my van, but also if it were to get knocked over, it would like fall onto my van. I looked over there by the dumpster area. The issue is there's another pole over there. All the poles are on the outer rim. So I'm trying to figure out where to park because I am just trying to avoid the storm. And I also don't want to put myself in a place where I'm getting hit by the wind. So I'm trying to figure this out, where would be best to park so I will be safe. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird night. I just talked to a manager and I kind of expressed my concerns about parking near the pole, and he was just like, you can park anywhere. And I told him what they told me inside about the cop, and he was just like, yeah, parking next to the building, that could be a problem. He said I would probably park around the outer rim. We have people who park here all the time. It's not that big of a deal. I got in just in time. I got a little bit wet, but as soon as I got in, it just... So I'm parked in a different direction, so I'm more going with the wind, so I'm hoping that's going to help a little bit. But for now, I'm going to change into my pajamas, hope for the best. I've already locked up for the night, and I have my food already heated up because I've been here for a little while, and the van is moving. The entire portion of Missouri is under a tornado watch for another hour and a half. So no matter where I am, this is just going to be what it is. No matter where I am. Okay, tacos are nice and hot, so I should be able to eat. I lost about 3% of the battery with the Hot Logic, running for about an hour. That's not too bad. I got into my PJs, I got comfy. Everything is a little bit more calm. It is going to kick back up. I can hear a lot more thunder. There's also someone who parked kind of in front of me. I think that it's one of the staff members, family members or something. They're just parked there with their lights on. It didn't look like a van or an RV or anything. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out. The live stream that I was just watching, it ended. There was a tornado that was in Iowa. They're still saying we have a lot of wind that could kick up into something weird, and there's still another like hour of the tornado watch. And I'm currently sitting in Cass County, Missouri. When I spoke to the manager and we were chatting, he told me that I'm in Cass County. I can find certain weather channels that are local. He's very helpful. I really enjoy Cracker Barrels because the people are always super helpful and friendly, and it's a nice place for a person like myself to get off of the road during a scary time, or if I can't find a campsite or something like that. And so in the morning, I already know what I'm gonna go in and get. I'm gonna do that in the morning when I'm a little less stressed out. Cause man, it's a stressful evening. It's a very stressful evening. I would say that my anxiety is, if I was looking at it from 1 to 10, is about a 7.5 right now. Only because of what I was experiencing with the van doing this, and then the weather alerts, and then trying to figure out where to best park, and then the news about, hey, if you park too close, they might come and knock on your window. You know, just a perfect storm for a lot of weird things. And to know that, like, I couldn't have gotten away from this even if I wanted to, is just a lot. So it is what it is. I'm also probably not going to sleep very well tonight. I already can see that until the storm calms down. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to like just chat with Riley a little bit more. I've been kind of updating her as to like what's going on with the weather. She's my safety buddy. At the same time, she's not the only person who has my location. My parents do, a couple of other friends do. All of them are aware that I am weathering the storm. And like I said, I'm probably not going to be sleeping very much tonight. Yeah, on a positive note, I have my tacos. I have my little boba that I picked up across the way. And I have a plan that I think is going to work. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to let the Hot Logic cool off for a little bit. And while that's happening, I'm going to have my tacos. Of course, what taco is complete without some hot sauce? So today I have Yellowbird. This is the habanero hot sauce. I have been loving Yellowbird for a while, and all of these little tiny ones that I picked up, I'm almost out of. So I'm about to have to make some commitment steps toward a larger bottle. So I have to figure out what I want, because I'm only going to buy one larger bottle at a time, and there's so many good options. So I'm gonna add this to my tacos, and then I should be in pretty good shape. Now, I always like to take the little dish out of the Hot Logic because eating inside it can get the Hot Logic itself dirty. And so I just take it out, and then I can put the lid to the side, and the lid has a little bit of condensation, so I wanna keep that from getting on my bed. So I have this blanket here, and then again, time to apply. And I'm just gonna put a little on each one, a few sprinkles on each taco. I have a good selection of asada and carnita, and then I also have a chorizo, and then I have a chicken right here. So that's gonna be really tasty. As of right now, the rain is just gentle, so that's okay. I can deal with that. I'm hoping it doesn't intensify again. The wind is also a little bit less right now, so I'm optimistic, but in the meantime, I thought I do need to eat something, and if it's gonna get weird, I would rather it get weird with me already having nourished my body so that I don't feel weird and also starving. So that's never a good combination. So I have that, and now I can get started. Still a little nervous, but this was a smart idea to do it this way, I think. Having that hour to heat this up, it gave me time to look outside, to assess, to kind of figure out what's going on, to watch an entire news program, to talk to a manager and a person here, and to find out what they're hearing, and just to kind of have lots of resources. And then also to kind of cross-reference those with local stations, and then to move into the back. And trust the process. Whew. So now let's eat. That's pretty good. Definitely what I needed tonight. It's comforting. Tacos are always great for me. Okay, I got into bed mode. The rain is chilling a little bit, but I heard some kind of like siren sound, and at first I thought, oh no, it's like a tornado siren, but it sounded more like a police officer, and so I was like, okay. And after the guy was like, don't park too close to the building, they might come out and knock on your window, I was like, oh, maybe that's what they're doing. It's just, hey, we see you. I've never had that happen at a Cracker Barrel before, but again, I understand, especially in cities and stuff like that that have different kind of crime rate. Sometimes they're a bit more cautious, totally understandably so. So I peeked out the window, didn't see anything. I peeked out the front window, I didn't see anything. And then I peeked out the side window, I still didn't see anything. So at that point, I just put my shoes on and hopped out real quick. I was like, okay, let's see. Looked all around, nothing. I have no idea what made the siren sound. It is terrifying though, because now not only am I worried about the storms, I'm also worried about what was that. Tonight is not a good night. Tonight is like a worst case scenario night. Not to mention, whenever I went to go peek out my window, I realized that my window cover is partially stuck on the outside. So that means it's soaked. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to let it dry while I drive. I would really love to go to bed at some point tonight. At some point. Ooh. Made it through the night. I'm waking up and it got cold last night. The storm brought in a lot of cold. So I woke up this morning and it was like 50 in the van, which isn't terrible, but it's kind of chilly. But now it's gotten to like 58, so I feel like I could get up. Oh, last night was a little crazy. A little crazy to say the least. I went to bed with just my light blanket, and then I ended up having to get out my big blanket because it just got so cold. Like at one point I was sleeping with my fan on because I needed the circulation, and it just got so cold that I turned it off, and I thought, okay, cool, I'm fine. And then within like an hour of that, I was like, oh, it's really cold. So, not only do I not need the fan, I also need the bigger blanket. So, wow. Okay. Whew. At some point, the van was just like this. The rain was kind of intermittent. It was like super heavy and then light and then super heavy and then light. And finally at like 1:30, I was able to just kind of like go to sleep because it had calmed down enough. It was still raining, but it wasn't like scary. This was probably one of the more scary days of van life because everywhere I could have gone, I was going to encounter pretty gnarly storms. So I am okay. I am okay. And I'm thankful for this Cracker Barrel. But with that said, I need to put all of my blankets and everything like that away, and I need to go into the Cracker Barrel to make sure I spend a little bit of money here, because that's the nice part of Cracker Barrel is they let you stay here, but you always need to go into the business. And so I'm gonna do that. I found something last night that I wanted to pick up for a gift for Christmas for my parents, so I got some work to do, and then I'll go do that. Okay, I've got everything in place. I am almost ready to go to the outside. It is actually cooler outside than it is inside, so I'm just trying to like brace myself. Oh goodness, oh goodness. It's gonna be a day. Storms are not fun, guys. They are not fun. Riding out a storm in a van is probably one of the more scary things that you will do during van life, because this is your home while you're on the road, and yet your home is just moving and it's getting pelted. I also need to check my solar panel to make sure my solar panel's okay, because it started hailing at one point. So yeah, damage assessment time. Whew.